You can't compare what it was like when I grew up. I grew up at the agency. There were maybe 5 families living there. There were no homes, there were no houses. All of it was just country. There was more family interaction. Families stayed together, they helped one another. There was so few of us. Every single family on this reservation is a good family. They're strong. They survived the Holocaust. Every family has that strength within that family, and we need to recognize that and empower that. This whole problem started from the boarding school, and it's filtered down to now where in our community it's the best kept secret. We don't talk about it, we don't deal with it, we don't teach about it, but it's the biggest problem that we have. And then underneath it are all those other problems, you know, drugs, alcohol, suicide, all these other things. To me, they're under that umbrella of sexual abuse.
Something has to be done. Here in the school, but in the homes as well. People aren't taking the time to learn about culture. We examined that word culture in all its components. Because for us here, Fort Belknap, you say Indian culture, right away they think powwow, they think sweat lodge, Sundance, and that's it. But culture is so much more. It's like all these little components that make up that word culture. The way we dress, our dwellings, you know, our traditional dwellings, our traditional food, music, dance.
And I don't know if it would solve them, but one way it would be to get our younger people interested in our cultures, our ceremonies, the ways that we used to have a long time ago.
I'm working on a piece of quill work. It's an earring. Only one side's done. All these little things are little quills from porcupines. Yeah, not many people around here know how to do it anymore. The thing that they basically do is most the time is beading, and there's only a couple people that know how to do quill work or even tack quill work.
Can you tell me about your dresses that you made?
Yeah, me and my mom made them. We just make them right at home. We have 2 sewing machines, and we like take turns just sewing and have to sketch them out before everything.
This is buffalo hide. What we're doing is we're scraping the hair off so we could prepare it for like a drum. Well, when we're done scraping it, we take it off this rack so we could lace it onto a drum.
One of the components of culture is games. And with stick games, most of the tribes have their own way of playing stick game. And so then we learn about the Cheyenne style of stick game, Crow style of stick game, Flathead style, Blackfeet style, Aaniih style, to all these different tribes and their ways of playing stick game. It helps us to further understand our own way of playing stick game, and as well as the ceremonial game called hand game here on Fort Belknap. Should students ever want to go and participate in a hand game ceremony or in a stick game tournament, they'll have that understanding.
It's our traditional ceremonial hand game. When they sponsor a hand game, whoever sponsors a hand game is because somebody is usually sick in their family or Like take, for example, if they got some young person going into the service, they put a hand game on for them so that they'll stay out of harm's way and return home. We weren't plagued with drugs. We didn't have TVs. We certainly didn't have cell phones. As a result of that, we went to visit your family. We went to visit somebody else's family. And a lot of our culture was through that. The stories that went with our culture, with our religion. Where now, that's the last thing anybody wants to talk about. They want to sit there and watch TV or on a cell phone, even if they got company. At that time, we listened to our elders.
I've struggled for a long time with to what extent we should allow technology within our culture. Our young people know this technology really well. I think it's definitely a way to preserve parts of our culture, but there's a lot of our culture that can't be preserved within technology. One thing that we really work on in this classroom here all year long is relearning how to listen. That listening can become a way of learning for us, as it once was a long time ago.
I went to a boarding school when I was 14 years old for 4 years, and we had 500 students there. And we had all different types. We had Sioux, we had Omaha from Nebraska, Sac and Fox, all different kind of tribes. So there was no one particular language, you know. But yet in all, we all came together as Indians. We didn't come as a Gros Ventre, we didn't come as a Assiniboine, we didn't come as a Sioux. We came together as a people, Indian people. And that made it strong for us. We don't have that today, that togetherness.
These are our children in this school. We need to be teaching what we're talking about here today. That needs to be a part of what we're doing, is empowering our children to be proud of themselves, to like what they're doing. These problems aren't going to be solved in one generation. You know, if you start now, in 10 years, you'll see the impact of that.